Okay. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Special meeting of the Common Council of the City of Plattsburgh, New York, December 27, 2017. Can we please begin with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag and Sylvia, could you please do the roll call? Present? I'd like to begin with just a very short comment. I think you know by following the news why we're here. On Friday, very late afternoon, early evening, the governor announced by executive order that he would allow or the municipalities across the state to begin accepting prepayments in 2017 of 2018 local taxes. Normally, we wouldn't have needed to have done that tax warrant, until very early on in the new year. Clinton County was the last to get their calculations done and finalized. They had those done and finalized, I think, just in the last few days or so as well, in anticipation of the or in response to the governor's executive order. So we'd like to speed this up by a week or so and have our tax warrants be issued and entitle our taxpayers to begin paying in person tomorrow at the finance office. We're only open one day this week because of holiday closures. Or our taxpayers can postmark their payments in, as long as they're postmarked before December 31st, 2017, their 2018 taxes can count in their 2017 tax year based on the executive order. Now that can save some of our taxpayers a fairly large amount of money, because by next year their deductions for state and local taxes combined will be limited to $10,000. It's not unusual for some of our taxpayers to be paying more than $10,000 in local taxes alone, much less state income taxes. So much of their tax payments next year will become non-deductible. If they're at a 30 or 40% tax rate, that means that 30 or 40% subsidy will be lost. So this really affords them one last opportunity to have that subsidy by prepaying their taxes. We're doing whatever we can to allow that to happen. So that's what the resolution is all about tonight. So I know this is rather disruptive to have such a last-minute notice, but I think you also have friends and neighbors and constituents where this will make a big difference for them. The finance offices were fielding a number of calls last week, and all we can do is tell them that there is no enabling mechanism from the governor's office to allow us to do this. Now there is, and hence now we will. So I'll have before we continue on with the meeting then, are there any persons who would like to address the council on this agenda item? If so, please come forward. Seeing none, Sylvia, could you read the resolution, please? That's moved by Councillor Casper and second by Councillor Ensel. Is there any discussion?
Actually, half partial.
So I think, and of course, taxpayers should go and seek independent advice for this, but I think it'd be prudent for a taxpayer to figure out their estimated state income tax and local taxes for next year and see how much over $10,000 they'll be. And that might, the amount of overage above $10,000, they may want to consider prepaying in their local taxes this year to take that deduction, still maximize the deduction for next year. So that's a very good point. If they could just even prepay a partial amount, they could still end up optimizing their deductions for this year and next. Thank you. Any other questions or concerns or discussion? None. Roll call, please. At this time in the meeting, we can close with any public comments from the audience on any question. Well, seeing none, then I thank you all for taking this time this week for this unexpected meeting. I appreciate it. Certainly, some of the taxpayers that will avail themselves of this will appreciate it greatly. Hopefully, it'll save them a great deal of money. Thanks very much. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Councillor Kelly and second by Councillor Armstrong. Roll call.
Councillor Kelly. Councillor Edsel.
Thank you all and Happy New Year.